versatile. Erica Jane doesn't even stick out. They're malleable. They're malleable. It's like, that's the job. That is the job. Go with the flow. Giselle Bryant, you think she cares? She thinks she'll get into it with Stacey, with Jazzy, with any of the new ones, because Giselle is like, give me my fucking paycheck. I don't care. That's the job. That is the job. Let me fight with a grand dame on air and shame her for her DUI. But I've known Karen since before birth. And when Karen has an actual DUI in real life, yeah, you better rest assured that I picked up the phone and called her and drove over to her house to make sure she's alive and that she's okay and that no one was hurt. Because that's real life. So Giselle and Karen get it. They get it. Beverly Hills gets it. So I can't see Teresa saying welcome, because she's promised us a fun, light Teresa. And I do think she would be her version of that. I see that on the villains. I see her trying. I see her laughing. She's kind of fun with the New York. Oh, really? You're voting me out. It takes her a minute to get, but she's lighter, but she's still not smiling, laughing. She's, to me, just reserved in a weird way. I don't know. I can't see it. And if I close my eyes and I say, here are a bunch new people, and Melissa, Melissa would integrate with these people. She would. She would laugh. She would hate some of them. She would fight with some of them. It would be organic. It would be an actual, like, we've never seen Melissa without Teresa. So again, I'm not a team. I'm not one side or the other, but I want to watch a good show because it's my fucking job and I have to sit here and report on it all to you. So what do I prefer? Yeah, I would think the show, the essence of the show, of being an ensemble show, to me makes more sense if Melissa stays. Even when I did the other show where I said I think Teresa's going to stay because I just can't see. I mean, even then I was not thrilled. I was making the statement, but I mean, that is not necessarily a show that I'm personally excited to watch. I will watch it. I'd be interested to see what happens, but I can see Melissa, if I close my eyes, being malleable and fitting in with everyone, and I can't see that if it were Teresa. I just can't. So I think that's another reason why maybe she'll go. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's not just that John Food is calling her a has-been, that she's older than Melissa, because she's not much older, that she would overpower the show. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Louie, it's a factor. Now, I said for a while it wasn't a factor. I think it's a factor. I mean, Vinavia is a God knows what. He's being accused of everything. I mean, the person that ran that warrior camp, which really doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Louis, but the guy that ran the warrior camp is being accused of like sexually assaulting all these women. And like, what does Louis do? We still don't really know. I personally believe that it is all shady and that there is no money there and that this whole thing is going to come crashing down and that he's living off Teresa's money and she's too dumb to realize it. I do. I do. And everyone's like, all the huggers are so upset. I've said it before and I'll say it again. All the tree huggers are 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 complicit. This is on you because it ain't my queen. I don't give one fuck what happens to her or Louis. I don't care. I care about myself. I care about my family. I care about my friends. And I care about you, my listeners. I'm not staying up at night giving a shit what happens to fucking Teresa. I truly don't care, but I will report it and watch it. I don't wish harm upon anyone, but I also don't care either way. Like it's not, I'm not involved in this. I will observe it with my eyes and report on it. The same way we found out Tom Girardi was a total scumbag. So I mean, does anybody out there think Louis is on the up and up and this is all going to end well for Teresa? Maybe it will. I hope I'm wrong. I don't wish harm upon anybody. I don't care. It's like, it's not in me to, I'm worried about myself. I focus on myself. It's the only way to be truly happy is not to look at everyone else's situation. But it will be sad. He's the love of her life. And it's to me sad that he's a factor that will probably cost her her job. I don't think it's the reason, but I think it's certainly not helping her, you know, when he is doing things like allegedly calling Marge's son and Bodito. You mean to look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Our good friend Sutton Strack taught us that. You mean to tell me all these 1,200 things are out there and not one, they're all false. Not one of them is true. Not one. I call bullshit on that. one person says something bad, this and that. Yes, facts. We were like, we love a witch hunt in this country, right? We love to jump on the bandwagon. We love to bring people down, but I don't think I think there is something there. And I just think if the facts were even and whatever, but I don't think that is a factor helping her. I think it's a factor that, not the reason why. He's not the reason why. But I think for all of the aforementioned reasons, we can add that to the list. That I don't think Louie is like, if we're drawing a line down the middle, yes or no, keep her. There's lots in the yes category. Louie would be in the no category. Okay. Everything happened with Old Nose and the screeners and agents, all and the lawyer and all of this. Let's see how loyal Teresa is to all the people that work for her when she's fired and the money isn't there. I hope she stays for her own sake. Selfishly, I would rather watch a show that's Melissa and Cabral and Aided and Dolo with maybe Fessler. I'd love Fessler to be there and a bunch of new people. That's just my opinion. That is just where I see it. That's just where I see it. All of it is true. She did all that. I know that for a fact. Like, I mean, who knows? But I was involved in some of it through podcasts, and I've seen emails, and I've been privy to things. So I know what her and the lawyer have been up to. Period. The end. I don't care what anyone says because I was involved and I see things and I read things that I should not read. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay. So yeah, and I mean, look, if she comes back, I mean, I have reason to believe she's out there trying to change the narrative now. So do I think that if Teresa is back, she would say, oh my God, it was so close and I almost got fired and all that shit about the bloggers and all of that. That was last season. And we got to keep our nose clean and just do it right now. I don't think she can help herself. I think when Frank Catania, when Joe Gorga, when these people say, my sister, my good friend, all of whoever she is has changed, I believe it. And I've changed over the past 5 years since I started this podcast. Change is good. You should want to change. I think it's very strange when I run into people and they're the same. They have the same shtick. They haven't grown as a person. I don't even mean change like grow, make more money. I just mean inside you change as a person. And hopefully you change for the better. I just think Teresa has changed. I'm not so sure that I think she's too far gone from what I see to say you almost lost your job. The bloggers were a part of it, girl. And therefore, you better keep your nose clean. You better stop trying to put things out and control the narrative. And it also, that doesn't work because people are smarter than it. But I'm not so sure she would stop doing all this stuff if she goes back, because I feel she's still doing it based on some other things I've seen recently with podcasts and stuff affecting me and others. So that's part of it. I mean, look, we ain't having this next season on Jersey. Sorry, people. It ain't gonna be bloggers and this and that. They're done. They are done. They said bye to Von